Hello, 9th standard. Welcome back to our video class. Today we are going to learn about the topic Nutrition and Hygiene, Chapter 21. Okay, and video number 17. In video number 16, we have been discussing organization of tissues as plant tissues and animal tissues. Okay, and in plant tissues we have it as video number 16, and in animal tissues actually it should be video number 16A. I have made the corrections, but still there may be chances for 15A இருக்கும். அது இருந்ததுன்னா நீங்க கரெக்டா புரிஞ்சுக்கோ. That video is 16A. சரியா? ஏன்னா the continuation of the video for our convenience I am talking about. But நீ video number பத்தி கவலைப்படாதே, content மட்டும் you just keep on learning. Right? Now this heading nutrition and hygiene. What is nutrition? The process of taking food by the organisms. Now this nutrition process of taking food by the organisms. Now, organisms are plants and animals. Plants are autotrophs where they can prepare their own food by the process photosynthesis. Green plants can prepare their own food by the process photosynthesis. Some non-green plants and all animals, they are called heterotrophs because they are not able to prepare their own food. They depend on other normally plants. I hope you understand. So we say nutrition as autotrophs and heterotrophs. That is the process. The nutrition, it is formed of what? Preparation is nothing but the components of nutrition as they are called nutrients. The nutrients are the content as carbohydrates, protein, fat, vitamins and minerals. Okay, all these structure, function, how to test their presence, they are all coming under the heading nutrition. And then for that, how do we preserve food? Methods of preservation. And then that is also coming under the heading nutrition. And why do we preserve these different methods we are following? And the nutrients may contain some other substances. That is adulteration. That process is, that topic is adulteration. And because of that adulterants in the food item, say for example, chili powder na adula vandu kalapadama brick powder vechirukkom, both are same color. When we buy peas, patani solluva, pacha patani, அது பேக்கெட்ல வாங்கினோம்னா அது ஒரு மாதிரி டிஃப்ரெண்ட் கிரீன் கலர்ல இருக்கும் இல்லையா? when we are washing it, putting it in water, அது வந்து அந்த கலர் சாயம் வந்து கிரீன் கலர். That is adulteration. Okay, so that heading adulteration. And in what way we should keep ourselves by maintaining the food preservation and prevent adulteration. That is coming under the heading hygiene. I hope you are following. So now for video 17 we are going to learn about nutrition, and video 18 வந்து food preservation, adulteration and the safety measures of food control. That is hygiene topic. சரியா? So now this food components, as I said, they are categorized into carbohydrate, protein, fat, vitamins and minerals. Right? Now the carbohydrates, what are they? they are the organic compounds of carbon, hydrogen and oxygen. Carbohydrates are in the examples it will have only three compounds: carbon, hydrogen and oxygen. Example: glucose, sucrose, galactose, maltose and starch. These are all examples. Nama textbook la nare examples irukku that we will study. Right? And the main function of carbohydrates are, they are the essential nutrients. When we are eating, நம்ம அப்படியே சாம்பாரை தனியாக குடிக்க முடியாது, ரசத்தை தனியாக குடிக்க முடியாது, எனி நான்வெஜ் அப்படியே சாப்பிட முடியாது. We need something to mix. அதை தான் நம்ம மேஜராக ரைஸோ, நார்த் இந்தியாவில் வீட் பேஸ்ட் சப்பாத்தி மாவு சொல்லுவாங்க ஆட்டா, அதெல்லாம் they are taking. So carbohydrates are the chief source of energy. Main adla. I hope you are following. Then the carbohydrates, they are three categories as monosaccharides, disaccharides and polysaccharides. Monosaccharides, example glucose. Disaccharide, example sucrose or sugar, and polysaccharide, example starch or cellulose. சரியா? So the carbohydrate na என்னெல்லாம் சொல்லணும்? These are organic compound formed of carbon, hydrogen and oxygen. They are the essential nutrient and form the chief source of energy. Examples: glucose, sucrose and starch. And there are three types as monosaccharides, example glucose, disaccharides, example sucrose and polysaccharide, example cellulose. Then the sources are as sugarcane, wheat, rice, potato, sweet potato and mango, watermelon. They are all sources of carbohydrates, right? Then the carbohydrates can be tested by an experiment called starch iodine test. That we will lab. Okay. To find out the presence of carbohydrate in a given food sample, you can take as food sample rice or potato or rice flour, அரிசி மாவு சொல்லுவோம்ல, or starch powder. இது ஏதாவது ஒரு food sample. For example, take potato as a food sample. Add drop of iodine solution. Iodine solution is a reagent available in the lab. Drop of iodine solution. Then, if starch is present, it will turn blue black. So, that shows the presence of starch. And this experiment, it is called starch iodine test. I hope you understand. The video 17, continuation of this lesson, we have presentation of this pictures. We will study. We will discuss by presentation of pictures at the end of this video session. Experiments aim, material needed, procedure, method and result. Or boy and girl, both of them, they are discussing how to do the experiment and they are doing the experiment. That is for carbohydrate. Next, proteins. Proteins are the building blocks made up of amino acids. Proteins are building blocks of it is a cell growth, it is playing a major role and it is formed of amino acids. Their main function, cell growth and repair of body tissues. When the cells are dividing, multiplying, elongating, maturation, அது வந்து it is forming a group of tissues. That's cell growth. If any damaged tissues are there, then that will be replaced. That's repair of body tissue. For all that, we need protein, especially muscle protein as actin and myosin. I hope you understand. Sources வந்து all legumes. Legumes na இந்த அவரைக்காய், கொத்தவரங்காய், சீனரிக்காய், பட்டாணி, they are as legume. And pulses வந்து துவரம்பருப்பு, பாசிப்பருப்பு, சன்னா, அதெல்லாம் pulses. They are groundnut. They are all forming sources of protein. Egg, non-veg வந்து egg, fish, milk, they are all forming sources of protein. Okay, and then if protein deficiency is there in our body, especially the children, they are suffering from a condition called kwashiorkor protein deficiency. The children will be having pot belly. Pot belly na vayiralla uppi, adu pere pot belly. That is the symptom for kwashiorkor, and it is mainly affecting the children of age group 1 to 5. சரியா? Next, marasmus. It is also a condition where children are suffering below the age of 3 years. They will be having very thin bones. The skin is thinning of the skin, and chest will be exposed. And then the rib cage படிப்போம்ல, அந்த rib cageலாம் நல்லா அப்படியே விசிபிளாக இருக்கும், எலும்பு எண்ணெய்லாம் அந்த மாதிரி விசிபிளாக இருக்கும். The child will be very weak and mentally low IQ. That is the symptom for marasmus. Kwashiorkor only protein deficiency, whereas marasmus வந்து carbohydrate, protein and fat deficiency. சரியா? Now this protein, presence of protein in a given food sample can be conducted by an experiment called Biuret test. The test for protein is Biuret test. For that, you take 2 test tubes as A and B. In test tube A, you take any solution mixed with water. In test tube B, you take protein sample. Protein sample here, it is egg white. Protein sample here, it is egg white. Egg white na நம்ம hens egg இல்லையா, அதில் அந்த தண்ணி portion, அது பேர் egg white. That you will take. Now in this egg white, you add sodium hydroxide. Na symbol, sodium, I hope you know. OH வந்து hydroxide இல்லையா. So you will add sodium hydroxide solution. It is also caustic soda solution. Yeah. So you will add sodium hydroxide solution so that you will have a clear sample. Then you add drop by drop copper sulfate solution. So when you add copper sulfate solution drop by drop, the solution will become purple in color. I hope you understand. And that shows the presence of protein. And the test is called Biuret test. I hope you understand. The next one is fat. Fat it provides energy and take part in metabolic activities. And this extra fat, when it is accumulated, it is stored in the adipose tissue. நம்ம tissues படிச்சிருக்கோம்ல, animal tissueல as connective tissue properly areolar and adipose tissue. அதுல we have adipose tissue, extra fat when it is accumulated in the adipose tissue, that causes obesity. Obesity na gundande, right? Then the fat can be tested for its presence. For example, you take 2 sheets of paper. you take 2 sheets of paper and then ஒரு oil substance எண்ணெய் உள்ள வடைய வச்சுக்கணும். that you keep here and press it. அப்போ வந்து the paper வந்து எண்ணெய் ஆயிடும் இல்லையா? then remove the wood sample. அப்போ வந்து அது ஒரு மாதிரி டிரான்ஸ்பரண்டா இருக்கும் அந்த ஆயில் உள்ள பேப்பர். அதை வந்து இந்த லைட்ல காமிச்சேன்னா that is translucent area. அந்த பேருக்கு பேரு அந்த ஆயில் இதுக்கு பேரு translucent area. I hope you understand. So that shows the presence of starch, presence of fat. Okay. So carbohydrate test for starch, starch iodine test, protein, biuret test, and fat வந்து with the oily translucent paper. We will check the presence of carbohydrate, protein, and fat. I hope you understand. And then for vitamin, we have it is required in very minute quantity, and it is the term vitamin is coined by the scientist Dr. Funk. And this vitamin, there are 2 categories: fat soluble vitamin and water soluble vitamins. Fat soluble vitamins are vitamin A, D, E, and K. Whereas water soluble vitamins are vitamin B, B complex, and C. சரியா? Then why we say fat soluble vitamin? Vitamins after synthesis during digestion, it is absorbed by the fatty substances. அப்படிதான் அந்த விட்டமின்லாம் எடுத்துக்க முடியும். So it is fat soluble vitamins. Whereas water soluble vitamins vitamin B, B complex, and C வந்து அதுல waterலயே soluble. So it is water soluble vitamins. சரி, இந்த tabular column vitamin, fat soluble and water soluble வந்து the end of this session video 17ல நம்ம வந்து presentation கொடுத்திருக்கேன். tabular column bookல உள்ள ஃபுல்லா எழுதி போட முடியாது இல்லையா? எழுதி போட்டா நீ பார்க்கறது கஷ்டம். அதனால presentation இதோட continuation இது முடிச்ச உடனே இருக்கு. that we will understand in that explanation. சரி, லாஸ்ட் வந்து mineral as macro minerals and micro minerals. Macro minerals as calcium, sodium, potassium, and phosphorus. They are forming macro minerals. Macro minerals sodium, potassium very very important for conducting nerve impulses. ரெண்டுமே ஒரு செல்லுக்குள்ள balanced ions இருக்கணும். If more potassium ion accumulation person will be suffering from conducting nerve impulses. சரி, whereas micro minerals வந்து iodine, main iodine, iron deficiency person will be suffering from anemia. Whereas iodine deficiency person will be suffering from goiter, the condition due to thyroid deficiency, poor secretion of thyroxine. So they will be suffering from thyroid deficiency, that is called goiter. So fat, water soluble vitamin and mineral நம்ம bookல tabular column இருக்கு. அது ஃபுல்லா எழுதி போட்டு உனக்கு வந்து எக்ஸ்பிளனேஷனுக்கு I have presented this in a PPT form with the explanation. So with that you will understand correctly. Listen to the explanation properly. சரியா? And in the மூணு components, what are carbohydrate, protein, fat, vitamins and minerals. சரியா? Other than this, that is dietary fiber is required much in our diet. That is called roughage. The fiber item and it will prevent constipation. Bowel clearance will be easy if we take dietary fiber. The beans, they are fiber rich food. அதே மாதிரி oats, grain, barley, they are also fiber rich grains that will prevent constipation. Another water is playing a major role in all metabolic activities. In what way? Without water nothing could be done. சரியா? நம்ம we are taking water 1 to 2 liters per day. Other than that, the food items what we are taking, இப்போ சாம்பார்னா அதில் வாட்டர் இருக்குது, புளியில் சாம்பார் அதில் தானே கரைக்கணும், ஸோ அதுவும் வாட்டர் கண்டென்ட். ரசம் பண்ணால் அதில் வாட்டர் கண்டென்ட். அண்ட் சம் வாட்டரி ஜூஸஸ் இருக்கும்ல, அது இல்லாமல் வாட்டர் கண்டென்ட். ஸோ தி ரோல் ஆஃப் வாட்டர் இஸ் பிளேயிங் வெரி இம்பார்ட்டன்ட் சிக்னிஃபிகண்ட் லெசன்ஸ். ஏன்னா அது for transportation, for excretion, for circulation, எல்லாத்துக்குமே water very very important. I hope you understand. So to sum up, nutrition, nutrient, under the carbohydrate, protein, fat, vitamins and minerals. சரியா? Now we will continue this video 17 as discussion and presentation with the figures. We will continue. 9th standard, this is continuation of our video 17, what we are discussing now with the details of nutrition and hygiene. In that nutrition part alone we will discuss now with some figurative representation, with the representation of some figure. Sure. So this is nutrition and hygiene. Now see this image as definition for food. As food is the basic necessity of life. Food is defined as any substance of either plant or animal origin. Plant or animal origin, they are as plant sources or animal sources. That means plant sources na plant and plant parts or plant products. Same way animal na animal products as milk and dairy products, poultry products. They are all animal origin. They are consumed to provide nutritional support for an organism. And it contains essential nutrients that provide energy, helps in normal growth and development, repair the worn out tissues and protect the body from diseases. So this is necessity of the food, necessity of food for our life. Now this figure is a bowl with the rice, and these are all some breakfast items as idli and chutney, sambar and that. Now here we can identify the components of food that we have learned. Now, just now what we were discussing about the components of food. Rice contains carbohydrates. Idli, carbohydrate and protein. Tur dal irukla, moongu dal and tur dal, ultham bark irukla, adu protein. Sambar எல்லா ஐட்டம்ஸும் இருக்கும். So that is for vitamins and minerals. Chutney normally here it is தேங்காய் chutney. So it has oily substance. So இதெல்லாமே they form a balanced diet. Sorry. So here this is just for an idea to have a balanced diet or with the components of food items. Now, this nutrients, just now that we are discussed as carbohydrates, proteins, fats, vitamins and minerals. They are carbohydrates, protein, fat, vitamins and minerals. This picture, it contains the vegetables, mainly all protein, vitamin, minerals and carbohydrate. Fat சில இதுல இருக்கும், நீ பார்க்கறதுல எல்லாத்துலயுமே it has protein, vitamins and minerals, and carbohydrate the sweet potato அந்த மாதிரி ஐட்டங்கள் எல்லாம் carbohydrate இருக்கும். சரியா? So these are the major groups of nutrients as carbohydrate, protein, fat, vitamins, and minerals. I hope you are able to recollect the point that we have discussed previously. Sorry? The next one is about carbohydrate. What do we know? What I said, carbohydrates are organic compounds composed of carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. As இது ஆர்கானிக் காம்பவுண்ட் உனக்கு என்ன தெரியும் நீ any examples வந்து நம்ம நிறைய இப்ப படிக்க போறோம் சரியா in that glucose sucrose lactose starch cellulose are examples of carbohydrates. So if you take any of these examples the content is mainly as carbon hydrogen and oxygen. The மூணு components தான் carbohydrate. What is its function? It is an essential nutrient which provides cheap source of energy to the body. நம்ம food item என்ன சாப்பிடுறோமோ அதுல cheap source வந்து carbohydrate. Okay, so carbohydrates are organic compounds composed of carbon, hydrogen and oxygen. Carbohydrate is an essential nutrient which provides cheap source of energy to the body. Examples are glucose, sucrose, lactose, starch, cellulose. Right? And these carbohydrates, they are as monosaccharides with the simple sugar, glucose. Disaccharide, it is sucrose. Glucose na நம்ம நார்மலா குளுக்கோஸ் சாப்பிடுறோம் இல்லையா அது வந்து சிம்பிள் சுகர் சுக்ரோஸ் வந்து நம்ம சுகர் சாப்பிடுறோம் சீனி அது disaccharide. And polysaccharide, there are many carbon, hydrogen and oxygen molecules. So carbohydrates, they are classified as monosaccharide, disaccharide and polysaccharides. And monosaccharide example, glucose, disaccharide, sucrose, polysaccharide, cellulose or starch cellulose. Right? Now this figure represents sources of carbohydrates. அப்படின்னா என்னென்ன foodல we have carbohydrate as sweet potato, சக்கரவள்ளி கிழங்கு சொல்லுவோம்ல that is potato full starch na. Sugarcane, papaya, watermelon, mango, maize, rice and bajra. Bajra இந்த கம்பு கேழ்வரகு எல்லாம் சொல்லுவோம்ல அதுல ஒரு variety. And then wheat. So these are the sources of food items of carbohydrate. Okay. So this is for carbohydrate. Now next one is about test for carbohydrate, starch. It is called starch iodine test. Test for starch is called starch iodine test. Here a boy and girl having potatoes. There are many potatoes kept in one potato is kept in a plate. Then to do the test for starch, it is called starch iodine test, where you will take 3 test samples. The given food item, you will take 3 food samples as A, B, C. ஏன்னா நம்ம வந்து மூணையும் check பண்ணலாம். But now we are going to test only starch or carbohydrate. Now what are the materials required? Test tube stand and iodine solution. இதெல்லாம் நம்ம லேப்ல இருக்கு biology லேப்ல இருக்கு இல்லையா and NaOH water. NaOH water வந்து மற்ற டெஸ்ட்டுக்கு வந்து we need and food samples. Samples நம்ம starch எந்த food itemல check பண்ண போறோம், protein எந்த food item and fat எந்த food itemல test பண்ண போறோமோ அதோட food samples. Now for the starch test, take a food sample in a test tube. Usually starch powder சேர்க்கலாம். ஆனா இந்த figureல வந்து the boy and girl வந்து potato எடுத்துருக்காங்க. சரியா? And then add a few drops of iodine solution to the sample. பார்த்தா என்ன ஆகும்? Appearance of blue-black color showing the presence of starch. If the food sample contains starch, it will turn blue-black. So this is iodine solution. The girl, what is she's having in her hand is called dropper or filler. இது வந்து ஒரு மாதிரி violet color. அதான் இந்த ஃபில்லர்ல தெரியுது பாயிண்டர்ல காட்டுறேன் இல்லையா. ஸோ இது வந்து when it is added, the potato will turn blue-black color. The potato பதில் நம்ம ரைஸும் எடுத்துக்கலாம், அரிசி மாவுல எடுத்துக்கலாம், ஸ்டார்ச் பவுடர்னு கிடைக்கும், அதுல you can test for starch. So test for starch வந்து நார்மலா it is called starch iodine test. I hope you are able to follow. The next one is about protein. Proteinல வந்து நீ கொஞ்சம் கவனமா பார்க்கணும். As proteins are the essential nutrients and also the building blocks of the body. ஏன்னா நம்ம வந்து tissues படிச்சோம்ல, அல்லது cell divides, multiplies and growth பண்றோம். All that is done by the protein nutrient. So that is essential nutrient. So it is called building blocks of the body. Okay. Then they are essential for growth and repair of body cells and tissues. இது வந்து கண்டிப்பா தேவைப்படுகிறது. Then proteins are made of amino acids. Carbohydrates படிச்சோம்ல, they are as carbon, hydrogen and oxygen. அதே மாதிரி proteins are made up of amino acids. And these amino acids, they are as two categories. One as essential amino acids and another one non-essential amino acids. Non-essential amino acids la வந்து the protein molecule நம்ம பாடியிலேயே develop ஆகும். When the protein content is digested, it is developing. It is absorbed by the blood as amino acids. Whereas essential amino acids la வந்து சிலது they cannot be synthesized by the body. So it has to be taken from the diet. Another special essential amino acid பத்தி சொல்லுவோம். Right? The 9 essential amino acids are phenylalanine, valine, threonine, tryptophan, methionine, leucine, isoleucine, lysine and histidine. Actually, நிறைய நம்ம புக்ல வந்து 9 சொல்றாங்க, யூசுவலா 12 னு சொல்றாங்க. Okay, so as the 9 essential amino acids are phenylalanine, valine, threonine, tryptophan, methionine, leucine, isoleucine, lysine and histidine. These are all essential amino acids. What is the main function of protein? They are essential for growth and repair of body cells and tissues. I hope you understand. Now the picture shows sources for protein. These are all plant products. These are all plant sources and these are all animal sources. Plant sources are சன்னா, கொண்டக்கடலை சொல்லல, அது மூங்கு தால்னா பாசிப்பயிறு, தூர் தால் துவரம்பருப்பு, இது வந்து பீன்ஸ் and then soya bean, இது வந்து பச்சை பட்டாணி. These are all sources from the plants. From the animals, it is meat, milk, fish, paneer, eggs. எக்ல நிறைய protein இருக்கும். So these are all sources from animal as protein sources. என்னெல்லாம்? Meat, fish, egg, milk products, dairy products la வந்து paneer and milk. They are the sources of protein. சரியா? Now this is the test for protein that is called Biuret test. Test for protein is known as Biuret test, where you will write always as a experiment form that you used to write in the record and observation notebook. Aim to test the presence of protein in the food items. What are the materials needed? Food samples, sodium hydroxide solution, copper sulfate solution, mortar and pestle na that's 50 அம்மி மாதிரி அது அரைக்கிறதுக்கு இருக்கும் அது பேரு mortar and pestle, test tube and distilled water. Now what will you do? Take a food sample. A food sample வந்து நம்ம லேப்ல what we are going to take na egg white. Egg white சொல்லுவோம்ல அந்த தண்ணி போர்ஷன் அந்த அதுதான் egg white and இதுல crush பண்ண வேண்டாம் ஏன்னா as such it is a liquid form and then add distilled water அதாவது சொல்யூஷனா இருக்கும் இது வந்து நம்ம சாம்பிள் சாலிடா இருந்ததுன்னா we have to take a food sample and crush it with mortar and pestle இப்போ வந்து நீ வந்து பீன்ஸ் வெரைட்டி ஏதாவது ஒன்று எடுத்துட்டீங்கன்னா you have to crush it with in a mortar and pestle and add distilled water அந்த solution ஆக்கணும் then pour the solution to a clean test tube. I hope you understand. Now add 10 drops of sodium hydroxide to the test tube and mix well by shaking. நல்ல test tube shake பண்ணணும் so that நம்ம எடுத்துக்கிறது வந்து egg white அது வந்து நார்மலா precipitate இருக்கும் அது precipitate அந்த தயிர் மாதிரி சடச்சடையா இருக்கும்ல அது கரைஞ்சு நல்ல clear solution until then you will add sodium hydroxide. Okay. After that you will add drop by drop copper sulfate solution. So add copper sulfate solution drop by drop carefully. You will observe the development of purple or violet color that shows the presence of protein. I hope you understand this. So this is test for protein biochemical test. This boy is adding test tube sample வச்சிருக்கான். Then this is sodium hydroxide, caustic soda na sodium hydroxide solution. இது வந்து copper sulfate solution. So இங்க இது பாரு, he is using dropper and a copper sulfate color அந்த filler ல இருக்கு பாரு. Then he is adding slowly drop by drop, right? And he will get purple color precipitate showing the presence of protein. I hope you understand. The next one, if protein is not present sufficiently in our body, if protein content is not present sufficiently in our body, especially children, they are suffering from a condition called kwashiorkor. Kwashiorkor is a condition of severe protein deficiency. It affects the children between 1 to 5 years of age whose diet mainly consists of carbohydrates but lack protein. ஒரு டயட்ல கார்போஹைட்ரேட் இருக்கும் ஆனா புரோட்டீன் இல்லைன்னா person children normally suffering from kwashiorkor condition. A typical symptom வந்து it is a parted belly. The belly bar தொப்பை பெருசா இருக்கும். It is showing pot belly. It's called pot belly. Right? Next one is marasmus. It is usually affecting the infant below the age of 1 year. Actually, 3 years வரைக்கும் affect ஆகும். When the diet is poor in carbohydrate, fat and protein. மூணு இல்லைன்னா கொஞ்சம் சோனியா இருக்கும் இல்லையா உள்ளியா இருப்பாங்க. With the all the bones are seen clearly in the ribs chest அப்படியே clear-ஆ இருக்கு. Bones become thinner. The child will be very weak in stature. So the marasmus condition. Right? The next one is about the fat. Fat is carbohydrate அடுத்தது energy provide பண்றது வந்து fat. And they maintain cell structure and are involved in metabolic function. And if fat is accumulated in the body tissues, நம்ம tissues படிச்சோம்ல animal tissues, அதுல excess fat is accumulated in the adipose tissue, and that extra fat accumulation is causing the condition obesity, right? And then essential fatty acids cannot be synthesized in the body and are provided through the diet. And the essential fatty acid required in human nutrition are omega fatty acids. நம்ம இந்த ஃபுட் ஐட்டத்துல சில இதுல பார்த்தீங்கன்னா இந்த ஃபேட்டி இந்த கண்டென்ட்ல இட் வில் பி எசென்ஷியல் ஒமேகா ஃபேட்டி ஆசிட்ஸ் ஆர் ப்ரெசன்ட்னு போட்டிருப்பாங்க. நம்ம ஃபுட் ஐட்டம் பேக்டு ஃபுட் ஐட்டம்ல பார்த்தீங்கன்னா இருக்கும். அண்ட் தென் தீஸ் ஆர் த சோர்சஸ் ஆஃப் fat as groundnut oil, coconut oil, அப்புறம் வந்து இது வந்து மஸ்டர்ட் ஆயில் கடுகெண்ணெய், தில்லுனா நல்லெண்ணெய், அப்புறம் சில நட்ஸ்லயும் எண்ணெய் இருக்கும். சரியா? அண்ட் நான்வெஜ்ல வந்து இட் இஸ் மில்க், அகெயின் மில்க், ஃபிஷ்னா கார்லிவர் ஆயில், அந்த மாதிரி இது எக்ல it will have some fatty substances. I hope you understand. சில இதுல மாத்தி எழுதிருக்கு புரிஞ்சுக்கோ. Right? The next one is test for fat. இது ரொம்ப சிம்பிள். ஒரு 2 பேப்பர் எடுத்துக்கோ, 2 ஒயிட் ஷீட்ல ஒரு எண்ணெய் உள்ள வடை எடுத்துக்கோ. அதை வந்து சப்பு 2 பேப்பருக்கு நடுவில் வந்து அப்படியே அழுத்திட்டு take out the வடை and then the எண்ணெய் பேப்பரா இருக்கும் that you see on the lightல காமிச்சீங்கன்னா இந்த மாதிரி ஒரு 2 பேப்பருக்கு நடுவில் எடுத்து லைட்ல காமிச்சீங்கன்னா அந்த டிரான்ஸ்பரண்ட் ஆயில் இது வந்து appearance of translucent area on the paper. Appearance of translucent area on the paper shows the presence of fat in the food sample. I hope you understand. The next one, இது வந்து பொதுவா dietary sources நம்ம புக்ல இருக்கு. Dietary sources வந்து கார்போஹைட்ரேட்டுக்கு honey, sugarcane, fruit, whole grain, starchy, vegetable and rice. Protein வந்து legumeனா அந்த இது சொன்னேன் இல்லையா, what is that, அவரைக்காய், கொத்தவரைக்காய், beans, there are legumes. Pulses, nut, soya bean, green leafy vegetable, fish, poultry product na egg, hen's egg and the product, egg, milk, dairy product. Dairy product வந்து milk, butter, cheese, paneer, there are dairy products. And then fat contain egg yolk, saturated oil and meat. அது வந்து இதெல்லாம் வந்து daily requirement of carbohydrate, protein and fat. Okay. The next one, we are about the vitamins. These are all essential nutrients required in very minute quantity to perform specific physiological and biological function. Specific physiological and biological function it is as suppose our color eyesight is not proper. If we have defective eyesight, we can say that vitamin A deficiency. Vitamin A is responsible for the eyesight, vision, otherwise we say. If it is not sufficiently present in the food item, then person will be suffering from color blindness or night blindness. Otherwise it is xerophthalmia. Ophthalmistனாலே eye concerned. So they are xerophthalmia. அதுதான் perform specific physiological and biochemical function. Then Dr. Funk introduced the term vitamin. சரியா? இப்ப அதுல வந்து அதே மாதிரி minerals also they are required in very minute quantities, but they are inorganic substances and they are also essential for biological function, and they are constituent of teeth and bones, calcium, tissues, blood, muscles and nerve cells. Right? Then it is as 2 categories, macro minerals and micro minerals. Macro minerals are calcium, phosphorus, potassium, sodium and magnesium. Macro minerals are calcium, phosphorus, potassium, sodium and magnesium. Whereas micro minerals, they are also called trace elements. They are sulfur, iron, chlorine, cobalt, copper, zinc, manganese, molybdenum, iron, and selenium. These are all minerals required by our body in very minute quantities. Okay. Now we will see as vitamins and minerals, their sources, their function and symptoms of diseases. If any deficiency of any vitamins or minerals, they are showing some symptoms. Okay. So normally vitamins are of two categories. One is fat soluble vitamin, another one is water soluble vitamins. Fat soluble vitamins when the food is digested, the vitamins, some vitamins as A, D, E and K, they are absorbed by the fatty substances. அதில்தான் soluble ஆகும். So it is fat soluble vitamins. Other vitamins like vitamin B, B complex and vitamin C, they can dissolve in water. They are able to dissolve in water. So they are called water soluble vitamins. I hope you are following this. So vitamins are two categories. Fat soluble vitamin, categories are vitamin A, D and A, D, E and K, whereas water soluble vitamins are vitamin B, B complex and C. Correct? Now here we are about the tabular column given in our textbook. As நான் ஃபுல்லும் படிக்க மாட்டேன், இன்னை புரிஞ்சுக்கணும். Vitamin A, other names வந்து ரொம்ப important. Vitamin A, retinol, vitamin D, calciferol, vitamin E, tocopherol, and vitamin K, derivatives of quinone. Retinol, calciferol, tocopherol, and derivatives of quinone. இது வந்து உனக்கு தெரிஞ்சிருக்கணும். சரியா? Then sources, carrot, papaya, இந்த vegetablesல எல்லாம் vitamin A இருக்கு. Egg, liver, dairy products இதுலலாம் vitamin D இருக்கு. Vitamin D is also known as sunshine vitamin. If you sit in the sunlight or go for a walk in sunlight for half an hour, your skin is capable of synthesizing vitamin D naturally. So they are called sunshine vitamin. Then vitamin E, whole wheat, meat, vegetable and milk. And it is meant for fertility. If vitamin E is any deficiency in the fertility, the reproductive process will be affected. Then vitamin K is essential for clotting of blood. நம்ம blood tissue படிச்சோம்ல, as components of blood plasma, அதில் it has fibrinogen இருக்குல்ல, main protein, அது வந்து along with vitamin K, it prevents bleeding. So it is controlling the blood clot. It is making the blood clot to occur. So next deficiency disease ல வந்து A க்கு xerophthalmia, nyctalopia, night blindness. Normally we know as night blindness and color blindness. Vitamin D, it affects children as rickets. இதுல வந்து sterility, that is reproductive parts are affected for vitamin E. And vitamin K, blood clotting is prevented. சரியா? Then symptoms in the A ல வந்து dryness of cornea, unable to see, dim light. இது வந்து bow leg னா கால் வந்து இப்படி இருக்கும். Bow leg, defective ribs, development of pigeon chest. Then sterility na fertility is affected. Then excessive bleeding due to delayed blood clotting, that is in vitamin K. Then இது வந்து சிலது கொடுத்திருக்கேன். Sources of vitamin A, papaya, carrot, mango, milk, fish oil. Whereas animal vitamin D sources வந்து milk, butter, liver, non-vegetarian, egg, fish. So vitamin A, D sources is given here. Okay. Next one is about water soluble vitamin as vitamin B1, thiamine, B2, riboflavin, B3, niacin, B6, pyridoxine, B12, cyanocobalamin. இதெல்லாம் B complex. Vitamin C, ascorbic acid. இந்த tabular column ரொம்ப important உனக்கு படிக்கணும். சரியா? Then sources நீ இதை அப்படியே பார்த்துக்கோ. Then vitamin B1 thiamine இல்லைன்னா it causes beriberi. என்ன symptom? Degenerative changes in nerves, muscles and it causes paralysis. Then riboflavin is a must and it is causing ariboflavinosis and it causes irritation in eye, dry skin, inflammation of the lips. Inflammation na அந்த உதடு வீங்கி புண்ணு மாதிரி இருக்குல்ல அது. Niacin வந்து inflammation of the skin and loss of memory, diarrhea. Same way with the pyridoxine, cyanocobalamin, this you will learn. I hope you understand. Technical terms la na explain பண்ணிருக்கேன். With that you will understand and learn. Ascorbic acid, vitamin C, it causes scurvy. Scurvy na concerned with the gum. பல்லோட gum இருக்குல்ல ஈறு சொல்லுமே அது. And it is swollen and bleeding gums. Sometimes நம்ம brush பண்றோது blood வரும் இல்லையா அது that is maybe due to scurvy. Okay, and then delay in healing of wound, teeth, bones and malformed bones or malformed ஒரு shape இல்லாம bones இருக்கும். And இது வந்து vitamin B sources rice, liver and wheat. Vitamin C வந்து எல்லா பழ வகையும் tomato, orange, guava, green chilli, நெல்லிக்காய் ஆம்லா இதெல்லாம் vitamin C. Okay. Then about minerals as calcium, sodium, potassium, iron and iodine. Calcium, sodium, potassium, iron and iodine. So ஒரே நிமிஷம் calcium sorry calcium, sodium, potassium, iron and iodine. These are all important minerals. அதில் வந்து மெயினா calcium தான். calcium வந்து இது டைரி ப்ராடக்ட் நான் படிக்கல நீ பார்த்துக்கலாம். மெயினா சோடியமும் பொட்டாசியமும் is needed for the இது maintaining fluid balance and involved in nerve transmission. Nervous system control க்கு sodium ரொம்ப important. Same way potassium it is regulating nerve and muscle fiber activity. Actually muscles வந்து activity it is mainly by potassium. சரியா? So the nerve impulse function பண்றதுக்கு potassiumம் sodiumம் important. So sodium வந்து நார்மலா common salt இருக்கும். Then potassium வந்து banana, sweet potato, whole grain, citrus fruit and nuts. Normally, especially old people, when they are not able to move அப்படின்னாக்க either accumulation of potassium ions or accumulation of sodium ion. In between the cells, within the cell, the sodium and potassium ion should be in equal number. If any one is more or less, especially potassium more or sodium ion less than the people suffer in walking. The movement வந்து aged people suffer from. Okay, then calcium and dairy product, beans, cabbage, eggs and fish. இதுல வந்து calcium, bone deformities, poor skeletal growth, osteoporosis. Osteoporosis na it is a defective in bones. That is osteoporosis. Sodium வந்து muscular cramp, nerve impulses do not get transmitted. அதனால walking difficulty aged people க்கு வருது இல்லையா, இது less sodium ion, more potassium ion இருந்ததுன்னா difficulty in walking due to transmission of nerve impulses. Potassium வந்து again muscular fatigue, nerve impulses do not get transmitted. இது ரெண்டும் ஈக்குவலா இருக்கணும். ions ரெண்டும் ஈக்குவலா இருந்தாதான் proper walking and conduction of any activity would be carried out. சரியா? இது மூணு வந்து macro minerals. Iron and iodine they are micro minerals. As இது வந்து sources, இது important component of hemoglobin. As iron will contain the blood contains hemoglobin. In that heme portion is the iron content. சரியா? And globin is a protein. So hemoglobin, if it is if the RBC red blood corpuscles is not having sufficient iron mineral, person will be suffering from anemia. So lack of RBC leads to the condition called anemia. Same way iodine, it is necessary where a formation of thyroid hormone. If iodine is not enough in our nutrient, people will be suffering from a condition called goiter. I hope you understand. So this is for micro and macro and micro minerals. Then this is sources of iodine. இதெல்லாம் ஜிஞ்சர்ல கூட நிறைய iodine இருக்கு. சரியா? இது வந்து phosphorus, milk, banana. இது வந்து இந்த கம்பு கேழ்வரகு அந்த வெரைட்டி. இது வந்து iron. இது ஃபுல்லா rich in iron. Calcium வந்து மெயினா milk and egg. I hope you understand. Then next one is about the balanced diet. இப்போ இதெல்லாம் வேணும்னா you should have a balanced diet. நான் first pageல காமிச்சேன் with bowl of rice, rice in a bowl, and then 2 idli with the sambar. அது வந்து balanced diet. எப்படின்னா rice and idliல riceல carbohydrate, idliல carbohydrate and protein, சட்னில fat இருக்கு, சாம்பார்ல வந்து spices with minerals and vitamins இருக்கு. அது ஒரு balanced diet. அதே மாதிரி you should have a healthy and balanced diet to have a normal and healthy life. Okay, இதே மாதிரி கேரளால புட்டு சாப்பிடுவாங்க, அதுவும் is a type of balanced diet. I hope you are able to follow this lesson. So this lesson, video 17, is about the nutrition part. Next portion, in video 18, we will learn about hygiene portion of it. I hope you understand this. Okay. So, nutrition part, you will go through the lesson. You will understand. If any doubt, we will discuss in the next video session. So, we will continue in the next session. Thank you.